Hey, another video following on from my first one of the Premier League predictions. I got a few more views than I was expecting, and I enjoyed it, and it was fun. So I'm doing another one. This is the Premier League predictions for the midweek fixtures, which is tonight. The first one is in a bit actually. It's at 3 tomorrow. I think it's 1 Thursday, and Friday, if I remember, I will do the weekend one. Okay, so Premier League predictions for the midweek. This one tonight. Before I do that, I'll very briefly go through the results of the weekend and briefly my thoughts on the results. Starting with the first one on Saturday, Norwich against Sunderland. I didn't predict 3-0 Sunderland. At all, I think I predicted a 1-1 draw, as I recall. I don't think many people even have predicted it. A Sunderland win would have predicted 3-0. Norwich were already at the races. They went one down. They had a go after they went one down. Sometimes done the business. They weren't beautiful, but they done the business. It'll be really interesting to see how Norwich respond psychologically from being beaten 3-0 at home to one of the relegation rivals. They got a tough one as well. I think they played two three top teams in the final 5 games. 4 games, sorry. Villa are gone. Obviously, so you got Newcastle, Sunderland, Norwich. For me, I can't see Palace being dragged into it. If Sunderland win the game in hand, Newcastle win the game in hand, maybe. But I think Palace will win. They're safe. So to me, 2 out the 3 out of Newcastle, Sunderland, and Norwich are going down. I think that will go down back to the wire. If I had to pick the 2 now, I personally think Newcastle and Norwich. I think Sunderland will do enough. With the games they got left, potentially the points they could pick up. Barini and Defoe on the Sunderland side obviously can score goals. So yeah, that's that one. So it'll be interesting. Norwich, who knows, big game for them next week. See how they can respond. The next one was. Give me a second. I apologise. Well, Everton and Southampton. I actually thought Everton played pretty well. No Lukaku, obviously, which was not good for them. Kone started. I thought he did reasonably well, to be fair, considering. I think Everton were pretty beautiful. They played all right. Southampton, they looked like a team that they didn't look like a team. They didn't have much to play for. Everton they looked like they wanted it. They put the effort in. They took the lead. It was a good response to Southampton. I think it was like a fair result. As I said, ticks along. I think I went for 2 each in that one, so I got the right result. It ticks along Everton mid-table and Southampton and right in there for the Europa League. Next one on Saturday was just going along slower than I like. I lost my page now. Give me a second. Much slower than I like. Give me 2 seconds. We're not going to be right now. We can't seem to. There we go. My apologies. Next one was. Sorry, I completely lost my page. Man United and Villa. Villa are obviously poor. They're relegated now. Lescott comes out with some garbage. It's a weight off the shoulders. Fans, you know what? Villa fans probably does. Any football fan would do better than that. To Villa's credit, they hung on in there and almost got an equaliser later on in the second half. Man United played well. They weren't great. Didn't impress me that much. Particularly late on, I thought they get given the ball away a couple of times. Deserving for Man United there. Put 3 points to them in the quest for the top 4. Villa are now relegated and not much to play for in the final games, but pride, and the Villa players highly paid for pride all season, so I can't see them doing it in the last 4 games. Newcastle and Swansea, great result for Newcastle. Again, done the business. I thought they played well. I thought they were the better team before the first goal went in. Swansea had a couple of chances, but I think done well. Newcastle and they're doing the business. So yeah, great result for Newcastle. Again, I think that will go right down to the wire for Newcastle. A big game for them tonight as well. So if they can aim from that game, be great for them. Swansea safe. Probably took the foot off the gas a little bit. So yeah, that's that one. West Brom 0, Watford 1. Interesting game this. I predicted West Brom win. West Brom probably should have won, to be fair. Watford played okay. Barini missed 2 penalties. And Watford, they put pressure on at the end. Watford somehow won, and somehow West Brom didn't get anything out of the game when they probably should have got 3 points. Decent win for Watford. West Brom will be disappointed with that, I'm sure. Particularly, home. I haven't been taken over, which you happy with that either. And the last game, I'm going to get into this too much. Chelsea Man City, the late one on Saturday. You know what? I like to praise Man City, but it's so hard to say if they played well or not because Chelsea were absolutely shambolic. No pride, no effort, nothing. They were just poor. They played well for the first half an hour, and I'd even go as far to say that they were the better team. Had a chance for Costa, one off the line as well. And then Man City scored from awful defending to get caught out from the corner is terrible. From that time onwards, it was all Man City. There was nothing from Chelsea, and it was just awful to watch. Man City kept themselves good. Man City played well, but it's hard to judge them when you're coming against such a poor side that Chelsea were that day. Aguilar's looking good, Torres looking good, Company's almost back. I think he's starting tonight. We'll get onto that. So yeah, big win for Man City because in the top four is not guaranteed yet, and Chambali from Chelsea, no idea where they go from here for the last few games. I'd like to think we can scrape some spot and that'd be enough for Europe, depending on the FA Cup winner. But it's hard to after seeing that awful. And on Graham Smith said on board embarrassing, and I think he's spot on. Sunday. Bournemouth and Liverpool. This was actually a really good game. I thought Liverpool really impressed me. He started with a lot of made 10 changes, so they were fresh. Played really well. Stories played really well. Impressed me as well, particularly the Euros coming up. Particularly first half Liverpool. Good football. Bournemouth played well to their credit. Second half, really give it a good go, and I thought they've done all right. Liverpool got hit about twice. Could have sewn it up. Bournemouth got a great goal, had chances really, before that, and could have nicked a point right at the very end, but didn't. But I thought Liverpool played well, really impressed me. Really impressed me. I thought the lads that come in straight particularly, and Logan Klopp be happy with that. Leicester West Ham, again, cracking game this was. West Ham impressed me. Interestingly, Andy Carroll didn't start. I thought he was clever not starting Andy Carroll. As I say, given the tactics and the fact Hoofer and Morgan, I thought would deal with Carroll pretty decently. Carroll come on, affected the game. Gonna get right into it. I thought the Vardy's red card was. I thought the first one was a little harsh, but he had a few tackles up to that, and I think there was a little warning. I noticed in his ear that if you do that again, I'm gonna have to put you for your next one. So in that sense, he did. Second one, to me, obviously I've watched this 50 times. To me, Vardy, his hands on the shoulders. Vardy runs into him, into his legs. He pulls him, granted, but Vardy pulls into his legs. Then there's a little dive. So to me, it's a dive. Understand why you get the second yellow card and set him off. Absolutely good, the second yellow card. First one, not on the face of it, no. But if you consider the referee gave him a little warning in his ear about his next tackle, can understand it. In the referee's defence, there, although I haven't said that I hope Vardy doesn't get further punishment. He didn't, if he said one word, the reaction wasn't there. West Ham's penalty was a penalty. It was a soft penalty, and there was, to be fair, there was stuff going on all game. And Hoof and Morgan have been at it all season, and now the referee decides to say, that's a penalty. Probably the thing that was all the penalties in the boxes, what the stuff that was going on in the boxes, that was probably the softest. But it happens all the time. Yeah, yes, it does happen all the time. There was worse things that went on that day that he didn't give. But by the letter of the law, that was a penalty for me. West Ham's first penalty. One that Leicester didn't get given, where Hooper's went, it's a penalty. You need consistency from the referees. Listen, first one penalty, the letter of the law, but you need consistency. You should have given that penalty. He's got his hand around Ruth's neck, which is stopping Ruth from jumping. To me, that's and he's impeding him. It's a penalty. It's not his penalty. They missed it. The penalty that Leicester did actually get given, I really do think the referee realised he made a mistake and he realised he had a chance to even it up and gave it. There was slight contact, but then when all the bodies came together and he went over, Carroll was behind him. Maybe you can say Carroll was a bit clumsy the way he came from behind, but he stopped us. If you look careful, Carroll stopped his run and kind of went into him and went down. It's clumsy from Carroll. It was a coming together to me, not a penalty. The ref realised he made a mistake, I think, and thought, great, I've got a chance to even it up, and did. He couldn't really handle it all game, he couldn't handle the pressure, the referee, and I thought he had a poor game. But it's Vardy's red card changed it. I mean, what I will say is I can understand why he gave Vardy's second yellow. The first yellow, not on the face of it, if you just look on that one side tackle, but as I said, the fact that he gave Vardy a little warning in his ear, next one I'll have to look you for. It was more for an accumulation of tackles, I think, rather than that one tackle. The yellow card, and obviously the second yellow card, I agree with. So I can understand why Vardy got sent off. In the defence of the referee there, but I think overall he had a poor game. A great point for Leicester. It's better than a defeat. The lead's been cut, obviously, but big game for them at the weekend. The actual champions is to respond. So, I think Leicester is still favourites, but it's still a big game for them next week. Actual champions is to respond, so it's over to them now. It's different. They won the league, it's different. They're favourites, but big game next week. Arsenal and Palace. This was an interesting one. Arsenal not really impressed me right now. Sanchez isn't doing enough. Ozil gets criticised, for not having pace, but that's not his job. Sanchez, poor, not enough pace, giving balls away. Welbeck not doing enough for me as well. You know what? And all really Palace done was sit in, be organised. They weren't expressing. They were just, they were organised. They sat in and were organised, and they ended up getting a result. They seem pretty easy to play against us, especially at the Emirates. If you go to the Emirates, you sit in, you're organised, you're going to get chances. Arsenal could have killed the game off, but they didn't. And in the scheme of things, that's not a great point for them. Obviously, they're fourth now. They also haven't got the top four. You're not really 4 points behind them. So, big game for them on Thursday. As I said in my last video, I thought Palace got a bit of a spark back. They had a decent performance against Everton, the game before this one, and I thought Palace played really well in terms of how they defended, how organised they were, and how they had big, creative chances. But Arsenal seem pretty easy to play against by now. Great point for Palace, not a great one for Arsenal. Big game for them against West Brom. I got the Monday night one, Stoke and Tottenham. Rest of the season from Dele Alli. Other than that, really impressive from Tottenham. Great performance. Stoke is not an easy place to call, and they made it look very, very easy. Kane, fantastic. Ali, fantastic. I thought they all played really well. The connection they have with each other, it's just brilliant. But the interpassing, they know where everybody is. They get boom, boom, boom. They're all connected. They've got passion, talented players. They made Stoke look like Villa Park a little bit. They made the Britannia Stadium look like Villa Park. Stoke is not an easy place to come. Stoke's not an easy place to go and get a result, but they made it look easy, and they really impressed me. And I think, as I said, they're going to be putting the pressure on any fault from Leicester. Tottenham will be there, as I said in my last video. Right, so that was my kind of, we went through the results of the weekend. That's some results. That's my thoughts on the results. And now we're going to go straight into the predictions for the midweek games, which is kind of what this video is meant to be about, really. First one is tonight, which is probably in about 25-30 minutes time. Newcastle against Manchester City. As I said in the last game, I thought Newcastle played well, done the business, and they're at home tonight. Manchester City look good, but it's also hard to that's main difference. Also hard to make a judgment because Chelsea was so poor. I think I think Aguero is firing. I think De Bruyne looks good. Torre is looking good, and Company is also back tonight. So, yes, it was hard to judge them. And I think Newcastle played decently. They're at home tonight. They got the win. They're going to be buoyed. Yes, I think Man City are playing well. But I think this is going to be straightforward. I think Newcastle are going to cause them problems. See, if he can get going. Townsend, if he can find his pace. I think we'll call it his Company's first game back. And I think if Cisse can be up there physical, I think he can cause Company problems. I think Townsend can cause problems with his pace. They're going to be confident from the last win. I think Man City will do enough. And who knows, might even be like the third right now. If they can finish third, that'd be, considering people were doubting the top four not so long ago. And there's only 4 points in it. I think Newcastle will give this a go, and I think that they will cause Man City problems. And I think towards the end, Man City could certainly be hanging on. I think it could even be towards the end, Newcastle giving it a chance, hanging on. It won't be an easy game. I think they could easily be hanging on at the end, but I think Man City's quality will come through and they'll do enough. So I'm going to go for Newcastle 1, Manchester City 2. That's my first prediction, which is the only Premier League game on tonight. And so I'm going to watch it in a minute. It should be a good game. Look forward to it. That's all in about 20 minutes time. And we go on to tomorrow. There's 3 games on tomorrow night. First one I'm going to do is quarterback kickoff. West Ham against Watford. I thought West Ham played well against Leicester, as I mentioned. I think they caused West Ham more problems than anybody has all season. I thought they passed it around nicely. I thought Carroll did pretty well when he come on. I thought Pyatt as well, and I thought West Ham played well. Watford got a result against West Brom. They've done okay. They've got the FA Cup semi-final coming up. West Ham haven't. West Ham were at home. They impressed me against Leicester, and if they put a similar sort of performance in this game, especially being at home, bearing in mind Watford got the semi-final this weekend, I think they'll win. And you know what? I think they'll win pretty comfortably. I'm going to say West Ham 3 or Watford 0. The 8 o'clock game, Liverpool against Everton. Now, what does Roberto Martinez do here? Does he make changes for the semi-final and give Liverpool a free hit at it? Or does he play the players, and hope that it's Tuesday, it's Tuesday, Saturday, or maybe Tuesday, Sunday, I didn't know. It's not as if, you're playing Thursday, Sunday, or anything silly like that. The professional football, they should be able to play Tuesday, Saturday, as far as I'm concerned. And plus, I don't think, the position they're in, the pressure he's under, I don't think he can afford to give Liverpool a free hit at this. Plus it's a derby, and I would have thought Everton fans, it's the closest rivals, it's a derby game. I thought they want to see the strong side, regardless of the FA Cup semi-final. Particularly the predicament that they're in, the criticism he's getting. I really don't think he can afford to give Liverpool a free hit. I think Liverpool will win regardless of what team he picks out. I think they're playing really, really well. They're going for the best stride of the season in terms of performances and also the football being played. As I said, Sturridge really impressed me at the weekend. It'll be interesting if he starts tomorrow night. And yeah, I think Liverpool will win regardless. I think Everton will hopefully, give it a go. And it's a derby, so I think it'll be close-ish. I think if Everton played the team that I expect them to, as I said, not give Liverpool a free hit, then I think Everton will give it a go. But I said I think Liverpool will win regardless of what team he plays. So I'm going to go for Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Man United and Palace. Man United were okay against Villa, but I think they were just okay. They did enough against the poor Villa side. Big 3 points in there in the scheme of things. They got the job done. They kept the pressure on for the top 4 because of defeat there or any sort of drop points there, and you really find it hard for them to make a case to break into the top 4. But they were at home. Wayne Rooney's back, and before the Villa game, they did look pretty decent. They're fairly running out to West Ham in the cup. Palace done really well against Arsenal. As I said, they just sat, organised, defended, and played, done well, and created chances. Not, if you do that in the way Arsenal playing right now, it'd be easy to create chances against them. I think they'll give Man United a game. I really do. I'm not expecting this one to be a classic, to be honest with you. I think it's not going to be the best game, but I think United once again just do enough. Of course, Palace got the same final at the weekend, interested in the players he picks. I don't think this is going to be a classic, but I think Manchester will just do enough and get another very, very important 3 points in the quest for the top 4. So I'm going for Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 0. Then we come on to the final midweek game, which is a Thursday night. Because the Arsenal against West Brom is a 7:45 kickoff. Arsenal play in Sunday as well, by the way, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with Thursday, Sunday. This is not in Europe, like Europa League. Arsenal, as I said, not doing enough for me right now. Not doing enough in general. Sanchez, not doing enough. Welbeck, not doing enough. Defensively, not doing enough. And to be in general, not doing enough. Czech, not doing enough. As I said, at the Emirates, they seem to be an easy side to play against. Teams seem to be coming there with a plan, and I think even enjoy it because they know they're guaranteed to get chances. If they just sit there, if teams come and sit You know, are organised, defend well, play well. You know, you pretty much guaranteed to get chances. They're pretty easy to play against right now. I think West Brom did decently enough. They should have got 3 points against Watford. They didn't. I think it's going to be a nervy night for Arsenal fans, particularly because if Manchester United win, I'll just be a point behind them. It's going to be nervy times. I do just think again that even I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal hang on at the end. You know, if they're creating chances, West Brom, I think it's going to be a nervy night. I reckon you have to ride the luck, but I think they'll just do enough. Again, they'll scrape a very important 3 points for them. It's not going to be easy. I think it will be a nervy night. Arsenal have had a poor season to me in general. This is said in my other video. This is their chance this season. But I do think Thursday night they will just about do enough. So I'm going to go for Arsenal 1, West Brom and Albion 0. So that takes us to all the midweek games. There's obviously weekend games the weekend, but I'll do that if I remember Friday. So yeah, that's my predictions for the midweek games in the Premier League this week. If you've watched, thanks for watching. And if I do another one Friday, I might do it outside if it's a nice day. So yeah. And yes, I'm not Brazilian. And yes, I have a Brazil cap on. Kind of big on caps. So yeah, if you watch this, thank you for watching. And yeah, bye. Take it easy.